All right. So, got another brain. All right. I have another thought experiment here. Is just be yourself the best advice you ever heard or the worst advice you ever heard? What do you think? Well, I think we have to think about this and go back uh, to or like where we make decisions based off, right? We either make decisions based on love or make decisions based on fear. And if you are using just be yourself as an excuse to not do something where if you do it, it results to a positive outcome, then you're acting out of fear. And if you decide not to do something where the result is a negative outcome, then you're acting out of love. So, just be yourself. Let's go back to that. We have the personal development space where it's telling you, no, you're not good enough, right? That's where it thrives, right? That's where the personal development space makes money. It's very similar to the fitness industry where that's the ideal physique. Well, you're not productive enough. You aren't smart enough. You need to figure it out. You need to keep hustling. You need to be more efficient. You need to keep doing better. And you have this ideal of this hyper productive Elon Musk character where you're nothing but productive. Cut out all your friends. You're the average of the 5 people you hang out with. And I'm going to cut out everybody else. I'm done talking to my mom. Right? So there's that extreme, right? So in that sense, are you being yourself? Yeah, it leads to a positive outcome, right? Doing those things. But are you doing it out of love or are you doing it out of fear? That's the question, right? If you're doing it out of fear because you're scared of the things that might happen if you don't do it, then that's an interesting dilemma, right? Because you're improving yourself based on not accepting yourself. You don't have full acceptance of yourself. So you haven't really unlocked who you are yet. You're seeking something external to tell you who you are. And if you go the other route where you say, well, I'm just being myself, I'm not going to do the work or I'm not going to work out because I'm just fat, right? Well, you're just lazy. Well, is that you? Or is that the story that you're telling yourself about you so that you don't have to do the work and you're using the most beautiful justification to not do the work? So, who are you and what does just be yourself mean? Because if you're trying to improve and you're trying to just be yourself, then that's almost like a paradoxical idea here, right? I've been listening to a lot of Julien, right, from RSD, and he talks about this a lot. And so we almost have to carry this paradoxical thinking where in order to improve ourselves, we really have to internalize it and understand what's going on here. Because if we can act out of love for who we are and continue looking for the positive outcome while doing the things that will help us improve, then that's acting out of love and compassion for yourself. And so going back to the other scenario where you seek self-improvement because you can't stand yourself and you're just trying to reach for something that is out there to help you. Well, I still think that's a positive path, but it's not the healthiest one. Because you're at least doing something. You're not complacent. And so now we're getting into like the levels of energy, right? And so at the very bottom we have, being apathetic. And then we have fear and anger. And then we get to courage. And then eventually we start getting into love and complete oneness, right? It goes something like that. I can't remember exactly how it goes, right? But as you move up the energy, right, which it's in this book called Power versus Force, you start acting more based on love rather than on fear. And this is something else that Napoleon Hill talks about in his book, How to Outwit the Devil, Outwitting the Devil. Because basically, the devil is trying to seduce you into acting out of fear. Because that way, even the positive things that you do will have a negative outcome for yourself. Because it's all connected. Because even the reticular activating system, your filtration system for the things that you find important will be skewed. So we really have to have it so locked in here, emotionally and mentally. We have to be so aware of what the motives are. Like, where is it coming from? Why do I have this eagerness to improve? Is it because you actually don't accept yourself and you can't be who you are? Or is it because you love who you are and you just want to keep learning? Those are two very different scenarios that are going to lead to very different paths in life. So I think the game is to really, really have your awareness locked in and to understand where things are coming from internally. Because, for example, you can have the most talented person in the world. You can have the most talented salesman, the most talented person that knows his way around people. And this person makes all this money and is just super, super talented, super smart, super street smart. But then you can also have this person that is extremely self-destructive, right? Because they're constantly seeking, because they realize they have this talent, right? But if they don't fully accept themselves of who they are, they're going to continuously seek that outside gratification by giving and overextending themselves. And they do it. They give based on fear, because they think that if they don't give enough, people will hate them. And that's what they fear the most, because they need that validation from others. I think that's the perfect example. And you know it when it's happening. When somebody just gives a little too much, cares a little bit too much, it almost seems manipulative. So I think just be yourself is the best advice or the worst advice you could give to somebody. And you really have to dissect how it's going to serve someone. But I know this was a damn spaghetti video. I hope you understood it. If you understood it, give it a thumbs up, man, because that was a wind tunnel right there. All right. Love you guys. Peace and love. You guys hope you're having a beautiful week. Like and subscribe. All right. See you later.